It seems we just cannot catch a break when it comes to these delays recently. If you haven't heard the most recent news, Sony just decided to push Morbius all the way back to April 1st. Now initially, it's hard to tell if this is a good or a bad thing. Most of the time when it comes to delays due to reshoots, like what this is, it's kind of a toss in the air, a shot in the dark. It could easily be because they're going to add some really cool stuff or maybe make the story even better, which is what I think they're going to do, or sometimes it's because it's the exact opposite. They're basically going in and touching up on stuff that they don't need to, adding things that they shouldn't be, taking away things that should have stayed there in the first place. So let's go ahead and discuss really quickly what my theory is as to why these delays on Morbius are actually something that maybe we should be excited about. Normally I wouldn't even bother saying this as the majority of my channel is just filled with spoilers, but I will go ahead and mention real quick that if you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, go see Spider-Man No Way Home. What are you doing with your life? But don't watch the rest of this unless you just actively don't care about spoilers for that movie. With that being said, Andrew Garfield. There have been massive rumors for some time now, even way before No Way Home came out, that Andrew Garfield was in talks with Sony to be coming back in a big way. Not just an appearance in No Way Home, but to potentially continue his arc as Spider-Man. This seems to line up all too well with everything that's going on with Morbius. In the Morbius trailer, they seemingly show a picture of Spider-Man. Now, a lot of people have been speculating that this is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Personally speaking, I don't buy that at all. I definitely think that that is Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in that picture, and hopefully this will clear up as to why. In that picture, it shows the word murderer written over Spider-Man. And in No Way Home, Andrew specifically takes the time to mention that he stopped holding his punches after he lost Gwen. Now, honestly, I thought this was going to be nothing more than like a reference made within Morbius. I thought they were going to see Spider-Man in a newspaper at some point, make a reference to it, and then kind of just pass on right by. And I bet that's what their original intentions were. Now that they have released No Way Home and they've seen the success of how it's been doing, Sony and Marvel have been able to kind of realize the positive impact that people have of seeing Andrew Garfield back in this role. I do feel like these reshoots that they're going back for right now as to why they're delaying Morbius again is simply to add more Andrew Garfield. Because when it comes down to it, my biggest theory overall is that I imagine that Andrew Garfield is going to be brought back as Sony Spider-Man. I feel like essentially the end of No Way Home was a way of Sony and Marvel going, we're cool with each other, we're gonna still work together, but here you go, have Tom Holland, he's your Spider-Man MCU, and you know what, we'll even drop you a little bit of that Black Goose symbiote so you can do whatever you want with Venom. But over here, we have our own thing going. If we want to cross over at some point, great. But in the meantime, we have now got our own Spider-Man back, and we're going to be able to do whatever the heck we want with our own Spider-Verse. And really, if that's what the intention is, I'm more than down for it. I absolutely love Andrew Garfield as this character, and man, he stole the show in No Way Home. It does feel like he is very well deserving of getting a third movie at this point, but honestly, I don't even want to see it stop there. It makes total sense as to why Sony would want to bring him back on as their Peter Parker, and eventually have this organically lead into bringing in Miles Morales into live action, and have Andrew Garfield Spider-Man be the Peter Parker mentor to this new Miles Morales. And this is all furthered by one other point that doesn't as much have to do with Morbius, but is dealing specifically with the third Venom movie that's going to be upcoming. In No Way Home, there is a specific joke made about how both Tobey Maguire's and Tom Holland's Spider-Man have fought aliens of some kind, and how Andrew Garfield's hasn't. Well, I don't think that they made that comment for no reason whatsoever. I highly anticipate and expect Andrew Garfield to be the Spider-Man that we see fighting against Tom Hardy's Venom in the third Venom movie. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Holland popped up in there as well. There seems to be some speculation that he has a large role to play in that movie, but realistically, I just totally see them, as I mentioned before, focusing their spotlight on Andrew and making him their Spider-Man moving forward. And that's basically that. My little theory that I just wanted to go ahead and throw out there. If you're someone that happens to be down about the news of the delay of Morbius, maybe this can go ahead and kind of spark that bit of hope back in you as to why it's actually a positive thing. Because I do really feel like the whole intention here is once again to be adding more of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I don't think he's going to take over the movie. It's still very much going to be Jared Leto's movie. However, I think we're going to see some scenes with Andrew Garfield and Jared Leto. I think we could easily see Tom Hardy in this movie. I really do feel like they're trying to work off of the positive impact and impression that has been left by No Way Home, capitalize that, and start giving us a whole bunch more of Andrew Garfield. But let me know what you think of the theory. Does it seem like it holds any water at all? Or does it seem like, nah man, that's just too much of a stretch, I don't see them doing that? And if it does seem like it'd be real, would you be down for it? Would you like to see more Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man? And would you like to see him specifically in the universe with Morbius and Venom and all the rest of, I guess, whoever they're going to be introducing later down the line? Drop those comments down below. Make sure to like the video if you happen to like this theory and the rest of the content of what I got on here. If you haven't checked that out, please go ahead and do so. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe, as a matter of fact. It makes it that much easier. Click that notifications bell while you're over there. This way you just go ahead and keep up to date with everything that's coming onto this channel. But thank you again so much for stopping by. Keep on the lookout for the next theory. Until then, take care.